Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
Former President Teddy Roosevelt was rumored to drink about a gallon of coffee a day.
That's
Relatable.
my kind of president.
Yeah, right?
Relatable content.
I am all about that.
I do a lot of Teddy Roosevelt facts, but that one takes the cake or coffee.
That takes the coffee pot.
Yeah,
The coffee cake?
Coffee
The
cake.
coffee cake.
Solid.
Thank you.
That's a thing.
That's pretty good.
I
Cameron,
love good coffee cake.
You should use the hashtag Geeks Corner to talk at us about coffee or whatever else we're going to talk about, because we do have some things to talk about.
I know
apparently.
things about coffee. If
Yep.
you want to
And other things, yes. Hashtag Geeks Corner on Twitter. We're probably going to talk.
We're going to start off by talking about Ralph Breaks the Internet. I almost said Wreck-It Ralph, too, because it really is Ralph.
But if he broke the internet, how are we here?
Well, that's why we're late.
It has been remade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that happened. So we saw opening night of Ralph Breaks the Internet and saw the adventures that they go on. Opening thoughts. What did you think, Katie? Cameron, you can ask questions if you want. Thank you.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was enjoyable. But I wasn't necessarily blown away by it. And I definitely liked the first one more. Which I know isn't a popular opinion. But I definitely liked the first one.
What'd you like about the first one more than the second
I
one?
thought the first one had a lot more heart.
Yeah, I agree.
Which there was a lot of heartfelt moments in this one, but I felt like the overarching story in the first movie just had more of that gut punch. And they tried to use that same story in the second one of the candy necklace and all that, and it just didn't do it for me. It's just the first one I was more invested in, I guess.
I thought Ralph had a better character arc in the first one.
Agree.
The second one, I felt like Ralph never really changed. Like, he didn't grow. He changed, he didn't grow.
Yeah.
And to me, as much as actually he's my favorite character in the thing, but at the same time, part of me was like, you're the obnoxious ex-significant other that just can't get out of the groove of like always having to call, always having to whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of a codependency.
Yeah.
You just described John C. Reilly's character in every film he's ever been in. Ever.
Yeah, so now I'm never going to be able to watch any movie with him again, and I really like the guy.
Yeah.
But there was...
Chicago.
It's
That's
Chicago,
true.
It's Talladega Nights.
It is.
It's Walk Hard.
But you know what? Some of those have heart and there's or humor, and there's a...
Love John C. Reilly, by the way. I don't want to misconstrue.
He's never coming on the show now, huh?
Dang it.
But
There goes that puppet.
Are all celebrities puppets to you?
so far,
Yeah. Are they not?
I watched the coffee almost go. It was real good.
Yeah.
but yeah, there was a little bit of a... It didn't have the same vibrancy and energy that the first one had, although I thought the story was actually fairly decent, and I thought it was a story that you could take out of this situation and put it in another situation, and it would still work. I didn't feel like it was as vibrant as the first one. Yeah.
Hi, Cameron from thegeekscorner.com.
Is that your microphone that's standing sideways? Okay, just checking.
It's actually in his knuckles.
right here?
Okay, just checking.
Remember, folks, microphone, ice cream cone. Don't want this. A little life tip for you.
What if I'm rapping?
Then make sure you're in profile so everybody can see how cool you are. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So every piece of media I have seen that is implicitly related to internet referential humor is immediately dated the moment it comes out.
Yep.
Is that this film suffer from that?
It embraces it. It was fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised how, like, weirdly relevant it was. They made a Fortnite reference. They made a few. It was weird. Like,
yeah.
But I don't think, because the references they made were so broad, I don't think that it's going to age as horribly as we were concerned about.
I would say there were some Easter eggs in the background that could have been construed as immediately done, but they weren't a focal point and they weren't a part of the story. It was like, oh, there's that sign over there, or things like that, or maybe a passing...
They also made references to, like, core things of the internet, like pop-ups and... like things like that, where it was like core things that aren't fads, like
and the things that they did reference more directly, like Google,
or eBay.
They're big enough that they're gonna have some historical footnote, because we Google things, we don't search them, and so there's a level of awareness that's I think gonna stick around longer. And it wasn't like I don't know what you want to call something that's
Flash in the pan.
yeah, but there wasn't a whole lot of that, and I thought that was good. What was your favorite Easter egg?
Stanley.
I liked Humphrey the Bear and Ranger.
Yeah, because you immediately went, oh, Humphrey the Bear.
And nobody's like, where? And I'm like, right there.
I forgot.
That was so awesome, and I love that he's showing up more and more places, and we just need to see him in the parks very soon. Yes.
Follow-up question. What is a fortnight? Is it a game that takes 2 weeks?
Yeah, the game, it's like Monopoly. You know how Monopoly takes like an entire day?
Yes.
Yeah, imagine it taking 2 weeks.
I heard there's dancing involved.
Yes.
It's a Dance Revolution game that takes 2 weeks.
Yes.
Cool. I understand.
And
I
you
understand
parachute
everything
from the
now.
sky while you're dancing.
I'll have to ask G.
We do have a question from the Twitters with the
Hi, Twitter.
hashtag Geeks Corner
Yes.
from Miss Bailey C,
Hi, Bailey!
who would like to know from Mr. Cam Jackson,
That's me.
are you gonna go cut down a Christmas tree?
I'm dressed appropriately for it, aren't I? Funnily enough, I had a reason to be wearing this outfit that you will never know.
That sounds
Well played.
ominous.
Well played.
And he has shoes on, in case you're wondering.
What
They
would
weren't,
you?
but now they know.
What would you rate this movie compared to?
Comparatively?
Mm-hmm.
We're going thumbs?
No, in the grand scheme of Disney animated
Film
films.
history.
No, Disney animated films. What would you compare it to?
I don't know.
You the ratatouille.
No,
No.
Both. No.
That's
nowhere even
disrespectful.
close. Yeah.
I can't even, because I'm trying to think of a movie that I enjoyed, but I'm never like, oh boy, we gotta watch that film. Because you know how you say that when you're looking at your DVDs?
Oliver and Company.
I love Oliver.
I do too, but I would say it's in that. It doesn't have the same.
The Good Dinosaur.
No. Really, The Good Dinosaur? You think?
No.
No, I think that's being nice.
Yeah, Brave is being suggested by the audience, and I'll say this: having not seen Wreck-It Ralph 2, I would rather go home and watch Brave.
Yeah, I think I would
that's
choose
not me
Brave
burning
also.
Wreck-It Ralph 2. That is me just saying I like that movie more implicitly.
I feel like this might be a movie that kind of gets forgotten about. Because I feel like Wreck-It Ralph gets forgotten about.
How about The Great Mouse Detective? I really like that one. Brother Bear's probably.
Brother Bear.
Brother
That's
Bear.
fair.
Yeah. that
Actually, Brother Bear is exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
congratulations. We've
You
solved
win.
But the moose.
it. Well, we don't have a thing on
Jolly
this
Rancher
thing on the stage we could give away.
So moving from one animated feature to a different type of animation, The Lion King had its first teaser trailer released this week. Yes, I chose my words intentionally because it really is amazing animation.
Yes.
And
Yes, yes.
and I think that the animators should be recognized for their hard work. And so I'm still figuring out how it's live action, but maybe the backgrounds.
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
It was never actually marketed as live action. Disney
Oh,
never called
perfect.
it live action.
Oh.
They said
Okay.
it's from Disney live action, which means realistic looking things they've done, like Jungle Book and stuff
Nice,
like that.
okay.
Disney's never called it live action.
So
Sick.
the retelling of The Lion King is got a trailer now and a poster. We all watched it on Thanksgiving and freaked out, I think. And as did the internet and all of those people that were watching football and were like, what is this?
Are you
Yes,
suggesting that
because-
all football
because-
people do not understand Lion King?
No.
Because the people who watch football went, wait, there's a movie about lions? That sounds
No.
pretty cool.
I can't tell you how many people are like, I didn't know there was a Lion King movie being made. And that's where I was going with it. But that was Thursday. Like my phone exploded. Like, did you know there's a Lion King movie being made? I'm like, yes, I do. We've been reporting it on this website called DAPS Magic for
Imagine
months.
them being like, lion movie, huh? Oh no, it sounds a lot like that Shakespeare guy. Oh.
Okay, so Lion King trailer. What'd you think? Go.
I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I watched it at the dinner table at Thanksgiving. Sorry. And then immediately everyone around me went, wait, what? And then also we watched it again. And I think the part that everyone freaked out about was the Simba.
Which worked really well.
It was insane. The whole thing is just really, really.
I'm a little bit scared at some parts of it.
The robots are too good.
There have been a lot of great artists that have made art about The Lion King since The Lion King came out. I've seen nothing new yet. I mean, it's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but there are beautiful animators and visual artists that have done gorgeous work reinterpreting The Lion King since it has come out. And other than being real hyped that James Earl Jones is still around, it's a scene for scene from most of the intro shots.
Oh,
of
I
Lion
almost
King.
guarantee.
And I know they're just showing off what it's going to look like right now, and that's fine. But I have zero opinion because we've seen nothing. They've shown us absolutely nothing. I mean, the voice talent in this with Beyonce and John Oliver and Donald Glover.
It's going to be amazing.
These names mean they're amazing, but we've seen nothing from them. It's okay to get excited about this kind of thing, but I don't have any hype yet.
So here's the reason people are excited, though, is all of that is a surefire hit. Like
Well,
the
yeah,
moment.
they hit the nostalgia button, hardcore.
And where was the part that they could miss the easiest on?
The action.
How it looks. And so what they did, and we probably got the only finished scenes that they have or something because it's got a ways out.
It rendered for the last 6 months. To
Yeah,
get
they're like,
oh,
they're
okay,
like,
put it out.
we're going to show you what we have coming so that you can breathe easy and know that we're not messing this up.
Because that's what everyone's been asking.
Like, it was really one of the biggest films of the 90s, and
accidentally too, if you know your history.
Yeah,
Lion
and-
King was not supposed to be profitable. It was an afterthought for.
yeah, it was just kind of thrown in there.
Pocahontas?
Yeah, Pocahontas
Yeah.
is what they're focused on, and so I think what they did very strategically is they showed a moment that everybody's going to recognize and connect with, and they showed that they weren't going to mess it up, and so like I don't need to hear John Oliver. I mean, like we know he's going to be fine.
I do, because I don't want to watch HD Lion King. Honestly, if we're putting controversial.
I cannot wait to watch this movie with you.
I don't want to watch a frame for frame remake of Lion King.
It won't be.
See, and that's what I'm glad for. But we haven't seen anything but that yet.
Did you see Jungle Book?
No, I had no interest in
So
seeing it.
Jungle Book had lots of similarities to the original, but went in its own complete
See, and that's
different
what I'm
direction.
hoping for.
Yeah.
And I think even looking at the songs that aren't being utilized in this version of The Lion King, they're going to do the same thing here. There's going to be some very iconic moments that you're going to recognize. Obviously, we've seen one of them, actually two of them.
Simba dies in the stampede. Got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the part. But I think you're also going to find a very different approach to some of the different plot lines in the movie. And I wouldn't be surprised if even we see some different personalities coming out, just because so much of these things come from the person that's
and
voicing
the
them.
people that cast for them are complete. Like, I'll say similarities. I think Donald Glover is going to play very straight to the original character.
Yeah.
One, because he's that type of actor. Two, he's that type of person.
Yep.
So it'll be fine. But like, the hyenas are going to be extremely different from the movie.
Yeah, I mean, because very much the hyenas were a product of the comedy of that time.
Yeah.
And
it's
If you
changed.
look at like Whoopi Goldberg versus the casting they have on this, like,
Also, animation styles.
Animation
One will
style.
translate into a realistic
Yeah,
looking
you
fashion.
you can't.
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to have a much more serious film.
I think so.
It's going to be a more adult take on The Lion King.
HD Mufasa death. It's
I
gonna
wouldn't be
brutal,
surprised
man.
if Timon and Pumbaa are quite a different take on that too.
Seth Rogen and I always forget the actor's name, but he's fabulous.
Don't make me open my notes.
Billy.
Is it Billy?
Billy Eichner?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. I think it'll be great. But
wonderful actors.
You just having different personalities come to it, I think there's a lot to look forward to, but I'm not really worried about the cast. And the part I think a lot of us were worried about is the music going to work? Now we know yes, unless they just pulled that from the original, which is very possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't hear anything new, though.
But we listened to a podcast called The Soundtrack Show, and if you ever want to come on, we'd love to have you. But
Hi.
he was talking about he interviewed the former
Walt Disney.
president of Walt Disney Music, and he apparently is helping consult on this movie. He's retired, and he was saying the first time he heard some of the recordings for this film, he cried.
Yeah.
And I feel like the guy who was behind the original and really was pivotal in making it a success, if he has that much buy-in to a remake of something that they invested years of their lives in the early 90s, they're doing something right. And I actually think Jon Favreau keeps getting better with each movie he does. You know, some people peak and it's like, okay, you get what you get. But he seems to just keep coming up with new things and taking things to the next level with his career. And I just think it's amazing. So my prediction is 2 thumbs up for this.
Same. This trailer didn't do anything for me.
Okay, that's great. I'm glad because that made it a much more interesting conversation. There's another trailer came out just today, actually. Artemis Fowl. You've read the books.
I have. Well, there's like 8 of them. I think I've read like 5.
Oh, okay. But this is, I think, Disney's attempt to enter the Harry Potter market. Mm-hmm. And what do you think of this movie and all of that stuff? I will admit, I'm not bought in on this yet.
I am a big fan of the books. I read them when I was much younger, and they are young adult fiction. So I think the kind eye of nostalgia might be playing a little bit, but I did love the books. My worry after watching this trailer is, one, very little of what the books are about is actually shown in the trailer, like tonally. And 2, I think they're going to avoid some of the things that made the books really good for sake of appealing to a wider audience. The character of Artemis Fowl is not likable in the books at all. He is a jerk, and in fact starts the first book, which I assume they're covering in the movie, by kidnapping a cryptozoological character and holding it ransom, ultimately for a very heartwarming cause that comes out, but it's just you don't get that from the trailer. It looks like a very action-y, future-y thing when it's supposed to be like about mythical creatures.
You know my biggest concern with this movie? I believe it's coming out in August.
It is. August 9th, 2020.
That is my biggest concern.
Explain.
What's the greatest movie you've ever seen come out in August?
Nothing.
Nobody remembers movies that come out in August. And this is just
filler.
I kind of think it's going to be a fun movie to throw on Disney Plus, and it made the bar to go into the big theater because it fills that gap or something. But I just don't know if it's like, I don't know. Like,
that being said, though, I think in the same way the Harry Potter franchise relies and continues to rely on fan base recognition.
Yep.
Artemis Fowl was an extremely popular book series when it came out, specifically because they got in like the Scholastic book fairs. So
if they do it right, there's potential.
There is I think a very quiet, dedicated market to this particular brand, and I think they may turn out in droves if they do it well.
So
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
You know what else was a really popular book? A Wrinkle in Time.
And those movies didn't do too well, did they?
What do you got,
No.
Tyler?
Guardians came out in August, by the way.
Guardians was August?
First one.
But see, that's my point, is they're playing it safe. Because they weren't sure how that was going to play out.
The wins in August, which I think even Lion King might have been a secondary release originally. I see your point, though, because the August release are kind of like, if they're really successful, great, but we're not putting them there because we're trying to highlight them.
It's a risk aversion choice. I would like to see it do well, because I think the way you've described the books is intriguing to me. If they make those choices that really are risky with the character, from a movie standpoint, I think the fans of the books are going to absolutely love this movie. I think people that aren't fans of the book are going to want to read the books because they're like, oh, this is completely different. Yeah. We were talking about Newt Scamander in the Fantastic Beasts movies, of how a great character he is, because he's not the normal central figure that you see in movies. He's awkward, he's quirky, he's
for
very
context,
real.
He has a butler because he's very rich. That he only refers to as butler, if I remember right, because he refuses to learn his actual name. Like, awful.
He's not a likable character, and I think
person.
that's interesting. And so if they do make some of those tough choices, I'm all in on this movie. If they play it safe, I'm probably gonna be like, okay, well, that was interesting, whatever.
You know what it reminds me of tonally? Tomorrowland. That's what it reminds me of. Like, taking a hopefully dedicated fan-based product and trying to push out something with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So predictions for this movie: thumbs up, side, down. Okay.
Side.
I'm on full side.
Yeah.
Very quickly, we did an article this week on DAPS that was looking into all the movies for this coming year. So I'm going to go through them really quick, and then we'll pick out a couple of them. Captain Marvel in March, Dumbo also in March, Avengers 4 in May, Aladdin also in May, Toy Story 4 in June, Lion King in July, Artemis Fowl in August, Frozen 2 in November, and then Star Wars Episode 9 in December. Merry Christmas. That's a lot of really solid films next year.
Yeah, Disney's not going to be hurting.
And they're going to open Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the middle of that.
Star Wars and
Yeah. Which one are you most looking forward to next year?
9. It's not even a question. It's like it's a closer.
Anybody going to go Avengers?
I was gonna say
It's a closer
9,
second.
Looking around.
and
Yeah.
then Avengers
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
And I think I'm wondering if Captain Marvel's going to beat out Avengers 4 for my enjoyment this year.
I'm predicting that also, actually.
See, and that's kind of what I'm hoping because I really want Captain Marvel to do that well.
Yep.
But either way, the first slot to 9, and then it's a 2 and 3 competition between Avengers 4 and Captain Marvel in my mind.
Okay. Cool. We will see what ends up happening a year from now, and maybe if we remember this episode next Christmas.
We won't. Help us.
But Bailey will, and that's great.
Stop putting pressure on her.
She's so good at this, though.
She is, but don't put pressure.
She's
on
like the unofficial historian of Geeks Corner.
I'm pretty sure she's official.
She's official. Okay.
Congratulations.
Disneyland After Dark is returning next spring in February and March. And It turns out a few of us are going. We want to hear from you. One, what do you think of these two events? We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to hit it very shortly. And then 2, for 90s night, should there be like a group dress code? Because I know at least 4 or 5 members of the team are already going to
All
this.
of us should have butterfly clips.
But
All of us.
In your beard. Yes, thank you.
bad choice.
Amazing.
So
choice.
let us know on the Twitter what you would like to see themed, and we'll see what we can do with that, or we'll consider it or something. We got a few months to figure this out. But let's pivot to the 90s
I remember
because we
those.
said we were going to.
Pivot?
Pivot?
Is that a 90s
That was the 90s reference.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks. That was.
You
that was
did
great.
one.
You remember the 90s. Gold star.
Yes.
One gold star for you.
Okay. So what did we say we were gonna? I'm totally
You said
spacing.
fashion.
Fashion. What was your favorite fashion look?
Will Smith's flipped up hat that he wore in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's solid.
Oh, that's pretty
It's
good.
a shot called right there. Just the boop, ba-dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Neon. Just neon everything. Neon,
So
neon
that's
on neon.
The polyester polyurethane
yeah, it's like
shimmery.
it's like, oh, not only do I have to wear a neon green shirt, but also
Don't
my
forget the neon
jacket.
purple that would go
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, but it's like you have to wear as much neon as you possibly can. People need to see you.
It's always funny because California was always like 6 months ahead of fashion, I felt, from the rest of the country. And I didn't live in California in the 90s. And so when I would visit here, I remember the first time coming down, it was like 92 or something, and seeing all of those colors in California. And it was just this
Man,
shock.
Californians are weird.
Well, it was just kind of, I didn't even know what to think. It was, yeah, weird.
Do you
but
guys remember like Jinko jeans, like the big flare jeans? Oh, but I've forgotten about those completely. They just slap me in the face, like the feeling of wet jean from walking around because they were too baggy.
Did you wear those?
Oh, I wore those. Yeah.
of course he did.
Yeah.
Is that even a question?
Oh, those were good.
What was your favorite movie from the 90s, just out of curiosity?
Oh man,
know.
does Blank Check from Disney count? Because that's a good film. That's a solid flick, friends.
Wow.
Under wraps.
Another a Goofy movie? Yeah. That,
I
Aladdin
feel like
was
a
solid.
Goofy movie is not
Lion
only.
King.
Lion King, Beauty and the Beast.
There's a movie about lions. That's wild.
There you go. So 90s night, we were talking about what the fireworks will be like. We'd love to hear what your predictions are. I am voting for Disney Afternoon fireworks
I
because
feel
that
like-
would just... Disney Afternoon was one of the highlights of the 90s. I feel like for so many people that grew up then.
Well, there's gonna be some Disney afternoon stuff at
Or they could
90s
just do
night.
DuckTales.
So the whole
All
fireworks. is
DuckTales
just
fireworks. That would be
I
amazing.
just had a
Yeah.
haunting thought.
haunting.
Yeah, Limited Time Magic, the dance at Boy Band Week. Do you think they're gonna break that out for 90?
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Oh.
Because they
That's a really popular
Still on
video.
the
In fact, if you
votes
want, go watch it on our
from,
YouTube channel, the boy band
Halloween.
Dapper Dance.
Everybody.
As they go
Coming out
around
of the-
I was hoping they'd be up on the castle.
With the-
Stop.
There you go.
Stop. See yourself out. There's the
Yeah.
door.
So it'll be interesting. Is it March 7th?
March 7th.
That'll be. I
Yeah,
think that
it
one will be
is.
very exciting,
I know
and we'll look forward to covering those stories, and it'll be great. Final story for tonight. They're doing a promotion next spring where you can get into Disneyland or Disney California Adventure for $70 a day.
Yes.
You have to buy 3 days,
Yes.
which was like, oh, that makes more sense. But it's a 3-for-1 ticket, basically. Go ahead, Cameron. I know you're just bursting at the seams to get out of this.
In the
this
original
topic.
film Jurassic Park,
Discount days.
discount days.
It was the coupon.
We're gonna have a coupon day or something.
Yes.
The lawyer says it. The blood-sucking lawyer is the only one on his side. Disney is literally pulling a Jurassic Park on this one.
You know what I
Where's
think
the
it
dinosaurs?
is?
Are they in Star Wars Land?
Star Wars. No, they're in the tunnel.
You know what I think it is? Galaxy's Edge isn't open yet, and people aren't going to show up, so we better get them here.
No, it's exactly. It's a lull season, and they are pulling a page right from Michael Crichton's line on that. Like it is. They're Steven Spielberging an idea that was played off as a joke in a '90s film into existence. It's a real thing, and it's gonna work.
Oh,
That's
it
the
totally
best
is.
part.
It's a great deal.
Yeah.
And then there's also discounts for hotels too. So
It's more discounted on Paradise Pier, but it's like a 30% discount on Paradise Pier on certain nights. And then Grand Cal and Disneyland Hotel are like 20% or 15%.
It's a
Which is
direct
still
response
decent.
because the microcosm example we have for Star Wars Land, we have two. It's right before they open up Pandora and right before they open up Cars Land.
Yeah.
And especially Cars Land, there was that like deep inhale before it went and everybody flooded, and it's going to be 10 times that for Star Wars.
do you guys remember when you used to have to walk into Disney California Adventure and hang an immediate right and go back
Yes.
behind Soaring to
I
get
remember
into the
when you
park?
had to enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh,
that.
it was really.
I
It was before my time.
You just
I think
triggered a memory.
even when it was Wall Street, everything was walls.
When did they jump from the buildings? Was that like at noon every day?
Yes.
Was the show when it crashed?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I think the even bigger comparison is before California Adventure opened.
The parking lot.
Like, well, before
Oh, I see.
Before
right,
2001.
But our prices went up then.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but they added a lot of entertainment and stuff in right before
and
Yeah.
I would
because they were
argue,
like, please come.
right before that, they'd never had that deep inhale before
Yeah.
that. Like
I don't think they knew what to
in
expect.
the
then.
last
Yeah.
decade, they've seen this progression of event-based marketing.
Yeah.
And it's become a pattern to have this dip right before, and they're going to easily over profit in what's about to come.
Oh, yeah.
What they're trying to do is just play smart business and lessen that dip as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because once they get people in the park, it doesn't matter. You're going to pay for things like food and souvenirs and other aspects of your visit. So if they sell a slightly discounted rate and it makes you come versus not coming at all, it's valuable.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have no clue what to expect. I think Pandora is the closest, but it's not in the middle of a metropolis. It's not Star Wars. It has 42 years now? 41 years?
Yeah. Do not compare Avatar to Star Wars.
I was there opening weekend and it wasn't that horrible.
Do you think it's going to be way worse?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I think
got
too.
everything done in 2 hours because I planned ahead, but I
Yeah.
can still walk around.
It's not.
Wait, you were there.
Good to see that you're watching tonight, Jenny Ray. Always fun
Jenny.
to see you hopping on. We got to get you down
Big
here
fans.
again. That would be fun. We
Big
love
fans.
you. And
Right here.
thank you for staying up and watching. That's
Yeah, seriously.
especially you
She
get
has
up
an early
early.
morning,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got a couple
appreciate it.
question. How come Disney doesn't do a throwback month that is similar to Long Lost Friends? They might sometime. You never know.
I miss Long
I
Lost
kind of think if they were to do it, you'd probably see it in Disney California Adventure next, just
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they really
right.
are going to need to counterbalance Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. What else we got?
Like a in stage 17, almost like the Princess Royal Fair right now, where you don't really know what princesses you're meeting. It'd be like a grab bag of long lost friends.
Grab bag of Long Lost Friends.
Okay, listen,
I think it'd be entertaining.
that'd be fun.
Can I know we don't have much time. Can I pitch who would you most want to see there?
Yes, go.
The Quasimodo, because they used to have a Quasimodo character that would come
I
up.
just want to see that show come back. But go ahead. Yeah.
I want to see Huey, Dewey, and then Megara.
Yes, thank you for doing something different. Their comedy's role is three is the rule.
Yeah. Because you see the first, you're like, cool. You see the second, you're like, I know what the third is. And then you see the third, and you're like,
Got him.
Conjure up a lost friend.
That would be fantastic, and you know who I'd like to see.
is it us?
Humphrey the Bear. I don't even know if he was ever...
Humphrey the Bear
was he
3
ever...
Like
The character?
the original Mickey Mouse.
I don't think so. The
No.
Ranger was.
Yes.
No.
The Mickey on Ice.
So
Mickey
he's
Mouse
a
thing
long
is
lost friend that never
55.
was. But anyway, we are running out of time for tonight, so Cameron, get us out of here.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com. That's thegeekscorner.com. We talk a lot, and sometimes we record it. It's all there.
With audio.
Only sometimes. Just go to dapsmagic.com, check out all of our thoughts on the Disney and geek news, and find out how to become a DAPS Magic maker.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel and connect with us on social media, because we'd love to chat with you some more offline. And, well, it's actually online, isn't it? I don't know what Katie's doing, but it's very distracting. But that's all the time we have for you this week, so we'll see you around the corner.